Good morning, party people. It's just a regular Joe here, and today I'm excited to talk to you about one of my favorite subject matters alcohol. I'm gonna be honest here, I love the piss. But if you watched my previous video, shameless plug to my other video on YouTube, you would know this. Because in that video, I shared a list of my current video ideas. Lo and behold, the first 4 out of 5 video ideas were about alcohol. So instead of making 4 separate videos, I decided to compile them into one. I know, my future self will probably hate me for burning video ideas, but I'm not a sellout. Yet. In this video I'm going to outline my introduction to alcohol, talk about drinking games and the tools I have used to enhance my drinking experiences, delve into the different types of alcohol and when they should be consumed, and lastly, provide tips and tricks to take your alcohol consumption to the next level. Before that, however, I have a quick disclaimer. Alcohol is great, alcohol is terrible, alcohol is a tool. Everything should be done in moderation. My dad is an alcoholic, my sister is an alcoholic, and I am an alcoholic. However, we are all contributing members of society who hold stable jobs and for the most part have our heads screwed on. If you cannot afford alcohol, if you cannot handle your alcohol without making a fool of yourself, if you have aspirations of being a professional athlete, or if you use alcohol to cope with your emotions, etc., etc., to put it simply, you should not be consuming it. Anyway, now that we got that out the way, and the pussies who can't drink properly have been called out, let's continue. When I was a wee lad, I despised alcohol. I didn't like it, I didn't understand it, and then I met tequila. Story time! This is a story about one of my first memories of getting drunk. A lot of people probably have a similar story about their first time, because when you're young, dumb, and inexperienced, you make a lot of mistakes. And this was one of them. The story begins in my last year of high school. The boys and I went bowling one Friday night. Nothing too out of the ordinary, just a bit of wholesome fun. But that was all about to change. You see, one of the boys, Juan, had freshly turned 18, which is the legal drinking age in New Zealand. So we gathered up all our pocket money and sent him to get us the goods. And what he came out with, which I didn't know at the time, was a recipe for disaster. Oh boy, I can still feel the pain. What Quan had gathered for the 5 of us was a bottle of JD, a bottle of Jose tequila, and a 12-pack of Smith Ice RTDs. Not much for 5 blokes, but we were rookies at the time, and by golly, it was definitely enough for us. RTD stands for ready to drink. Anyway, from the bottle store we ventured to Wellington Railway Station to catch a train home to Old Takapu Road Station. When we got to the station, I had to see a man about a dog, aka take a dump. While I was doing my business, someone tried to steal my bag which was on the ground. I managed to win the tug of war with the scallywag, which I was very grateful for, because I was not really interested in chasing someone with my pants around my ankles and a dirty bum. Preceding this, I went to find my mates. When I got back, they were all giggling, and it turns out Quan was the miscreant who tried to take my bag. They were also giggling because they had been passing around the bottle of JD for swigs. Being the full sender I am, I scowled a good amount, getting that bad boy vertical. Man, it burnt. After this, we settled down and caught the train. Being the only one with the car at the time, I drove us to mine from there. When we got home, we said hi to my parents and sat down at the table. And as you do with a bottle of tequila, we got out the shot glasses. This was my first time with tequila. I didn't know what to expect, but what I do know now is that it was love at first sip. Being my first time, we made sure to use protection, aka lick the salt off your hand, take the shot, and then suck the lemon. During my drinking career, I have done this a handful of times, and when I have needed to. Using this technique is very smart, if you're soft. Get some hair on your chest and drink it raw, buddy. And if you even think about doing this with a bottle of Anejo,
I will look for you. I will find you. I will kill you.
After a few too many shots and drunken messages that shouldn't have been sent, we lumbered up to the lookout to restore peace to my household. Though we were travelling up the hill to the lookout, this was where the night went downhill. At the lookout, Chad, Quan and I started wrestling while Greg and Tyrone chilled. Being the beast that I am, I obviously won the matches. Exhausted and gasping from my victory, Quan decided he was going to give me a prize, and proceeded to pour Smirnoff Ice down my throat while I lay immobilized on the hill. No pause. After finishing off the remaining drinks, we sauntered back to my house, although I do not remember this part of the journey, but Lord knows there were some dusty photos that were taken by our friend group photographer, Tyrone. And this is where I learned the cost of drinking alcohol. While preparing the beds for the boys to sleep in, my liver decided it had had enough, and before I could make it out the back door, I vomited while holding the handle. I then proceeded to pass out on the futon mattress, sleeping in my vomit. Showing great empathy, the boys decided to draw various things on my face with a permanent marker, and to be honest, I would have done the same thing. The next morning, I woke up with my first of many hangovers I have experienced in my career. That being said, it was a great night, and I wouldn't change a thing, except maybe making it outside to vomit.
Yo, what up, homies? I have a quick announcement. So this video is way too long, and I still have a day job, so I'm gonna split this video up into multiple parts. I know I said I was gonna compile it all into one, but I lied, and if you have an issue with that, you can talk to my manager. It is www.leftrightgoodnight.com. Chur. Anyway, to make up for that, here's some voice recordings of me screwing up during my recordings.
Bro, this better be fucking recording. And if you don't think about exhausted and gasping for my victory, was a recipe for disaster.
Some clips of me screwing fuck. Anyway, guess that's getting added to the gags. Cue the outro, brother. Let's go. That's crazy.
It's the outro. Just a regular Joe.